Blondie Bennett is a 38-year-old California woman who describes herself as Barbie-obsessed. In fact, she's so obsessed that she says she actually uses hypnotherapy sessions in an attempt to decrease her IQ because she actually wants to become like a plastic doll with no brain cells. Quote, "I just want to be the ultimate Barbie. I actually want to be brainless. I don't like being human, if that makes any sense. Natural is boring. I would love to be, like, completely plastic." Bennett's now had 5 breast augmentations. Wow, that's a lot. And other procedures as well in the hopes of attaining the goal, but now she says she's undergoing hypnotherapy sessions 2 to 3 times a week in order to dumb down her thoughts. Apparently, it's working. Quote, "I've had 20 sessions and I'm already starting to feel ditzy and confused all the time." Now, I know this seems like a silly, silly story for Secular Talk to be covering. I try to avoid the really unnecessary, yet interesting stories. But this one, I think there's a bigger point to be made here. I think this woman is just one long case study in deviant psychology. And I think they should run some tests as to what exactly is going on in her brain, because they probably find some things that can help us with, certain issues that people have. And it's actually pretty fascinating to me. And I gotta say, I'm split on it. So on the one hand, do I think that there may very well be something psychologically unstable about this woman? Absolutely, I think there might be. What happened in her childhood? I don't want to get all Freudian, but what happened in her childhood? What happened in her young adult life? Was there a chain of events that led to her to feel incredibly insecure and want to look like Barbie? Or was she always just a regular person and she just had this obsession and decided to live it out? Or was there some sort of abuse? I don't know. I don't want to jump to conclusions, and I don't want to stereotype, and I don't want to do any of those things. So I'm just wildly speculating right now. But whatever the story is, it's guaranteed to be interesting. Is it something that's innate, right? Was it just something that's, I don't know, just biological or physiological, that she's super compelled to do this? Like I'm compelled to be attracted to women and have sex with women? Like, what's going on here? Is it like a compulsion? Or is it something that's totally, created by her environment and society? And was she a mold of clay that was sculpted in this awkward way that it's a total choice? I don't know what the answer is, but I'm fascinated in figuring out what the answer is. And the other side of the equation, by the way, is while on the one hand, I want to judge the shit out of her and say, what are you doing? You're like wasting your life here trying to be something that you're not and just making yourself into this caricature of a human being. But on the other hand, I want to say my uber liberal side comes out and I say, look, man, to each their own. She's not hurting anybody. She very well may be hurting herself with all those plastic surgeries that might have an effect on her down the road. But hey, as long as she's not physically hurting anybody else, she's doing what she wants to do, and this might actually make her happier. So I don't know, man. I don't know what the answer is. I know some people would actually consider doing like a plastic surgery ban after a certain number, or they would force her into some sort of treatment. I don't know where I stand on this. I think it'd be interesting to study her. I don't know if we should force her to be studied, and I don't think it would be a good idea to legislate against this kind of lifestyle. I mean, you can say, I know this sounds ridiculous, but you also can say that, isn't this like Western society at its peak also? The idea of consumerism and materialism and doing what you want to do and living the kind of life you want to live? Well, yeah, I mean, she's embodying all those virtues. Dare we call her virtuous? I mean, she's living the life apparently the way she clearly wants to live it. It's a strange story it piqued my interest, it fascinated me, and I'm curious to see what everybody else thinks.